Good morning and welcome to Follow Everton. Today's big game at the Etihad, Man City against Everton. We've got my double act partner, Wes, and we've got somebody from across the Atlantic this morning. It's 4:30 in the morning in Arizona. It's Chris. So good morning to Wes first.
Good morning, the Robster.
And good morning to you, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, Robbie. Good morning, Wes.
Good morning, Chris.
So, boys, are the teams out yet? So we've come live at 11:30 just as the teams get announced. So bear with us because we'll have a little chat as well, see if the teams are out. But Chris is going to be one of our new guests all the way over from the States. I mean, that's keen, isn't it? 7 hours behind over in Arizona. He's got up early doors this morning to come and talk about Everton's 3 points today at the Etihad.
There's somebody's 3 points. Hopefully they're ours, huh?
Hopefully.
Well, it's up for grabs, isn't it? It's up for grabs. And if we don't turn up, we're never going to have a chance, are we? But hopefully we get off the coach. We're up for it because, let's face it, if you don't have a little chat about those 115 disciplinary issues that they've got against them and just fold, then we're wimps, aren't we?
Yeah. Proving someone's a liar is quite a skill. And when you're willing to show your cards, it's a little easier to punish. So hopefully honesty, and I'm not going to go with integrity, but from our board, but being upfront, hopefully we get everything out of the way early and we don't get that double jeopardy.
The team's out, boys.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Pickford in goal, Godfrey, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Michaelenko, Young, Garner, McNeil, Harrison, Calvert-Lewin. Is he expected?
Who's on the bench? Who's on the bench, Rob? That's pretty much expected.
We've got
Virginia, Patterson, Keane, Onana, Beto, Coleman, Chiamiti, Hunt, and Dobbin.
Onana's on the bench.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, boys?
Pretty much expected, weren't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's gone to, for the same formation. Just, I don't know. Do you think that they rushed Decore back the last time he came back, and we're paying the price for that now because he seems to be being out now for a few weeks, hasn't he?
What do you think, Chris?
You said Decore, was that Onana you were referencing? Sorry.
Decore.
Yeah. Well, what's going to scare me with Decore? We need him right now, but when players start losing, having hamstrings go, and it was one hamstring and now the other, we need him for this year as much as we can and bandage him up. But that's not a good sign if you want someone to be explosive into the box if their hamstrings are going.
No, definitely not. But he is a big miss at the moment, isn't he? He's that link man, and between the midfield and the strikers.
Yeah, we haven't found another 10, have we?
But we haven't, and that's a bit grim, really, isn't it? That we haven't got somebody that can play his role.
We haven't got a number 9, then, man. Number 10.
No, yeah, there's that.
At the moment, he'll come good. I'm sure he'll come good.
So, just to come off that a minute, what do you think about this? This Richard Masters saying that the minutes of the Premier League meeting last year is not going to be divulged to the public.
Go on, Chris. I'll have my say in a minute.
Well, I mean, the amount of little things that can be taken out of context with in the public, I kind of get not sharing everything that ever comes out. But at the same time, with the level of scrutiny and the lack of trust we have Everton and just the Premier League on how things have been running, the VAR, what we've heard from VAR, like that Liverpool scenario where they realized, oh damn, we can't make a call. And we're kind of exposing how poorly run they are. We want to hear everything, but that's not with a well-run system and you're communicating out where you're at. You wouldn't do that, but no. It could, yeah. And because we don't trust them, as Mr. Toffees is saying, we don't believe that they're not hiding anything.
Yeah, I mean, why would they not want to publish them minutes if they weren't hiding anything. You know, the fact of the matter is, you know, this is supposed to be a transparent organisation that want to be seen to be, you know, to be able to approach them and they go, yeah, well, this is what happened and this is how it went down and stuff like that. They're not even prepared to announce this so-called sanctioning policy that they give to the independent commission.
Yeah, I think they're also hiding to try. The less they show, the more competent they seem by what they deliver. But as we know, we don't trust how competent they are right now. So I feel like it's a double-edged sword.
It's like Robbie said, like you said, Rob, he's clinging on to his job, and he'll be gone.
Yeah, like he let slip at the Independence Committee 3 weeks ago when he said about the small club. Now he's going, like I didn't really mean a small club. It was kind of a slip of the tongue. He won't, or him and his paymasters, his pay generals, will not have realised that all the stuff that was on paper was going to be asked to be put in the public domain. So basically, in essence, I can't use a better term, but they've shit themselves and gone, oh, hang on a minute. This is like MI5, MI6 stuff. You know, you won't be able to find out about it for another 50 years. It's all a load of shite, mate. And all they've done is they've proved how bent and corrupt they are. That's it. It's not football anymore. It's a product, and it's manufactured, and we're not part of the manufacturing.
The thing is, though, Rob, when you're basically denying a dame, because she's Dame, you know, Caroline Dinage, denying Dame Caroline Dinage the right to view those minutes. And now, as far as I was concerned, that they're an organisation that is predominantly owned by fans and football clubs, because if it wasn't for the fans and the football clubs, they wouldn't have any job. They wouldn't have an organisation. So surely they're answerable to the public and to football clubs.
Mate, Chris, he's a good stand-up comedian, isn't he? Because all what you're saying is truthful, mate, but you know what? It's like pie in the sky. I wonder how we'd get on if we asked on the Freedom of Information, under the Freedom of Information Act. There's one. I've just thought of that.
You're the man for that, Robster.
Go on, Chris.
I mean, it's becoming basically British government takeover, isn't it? That's the direction the Premier League's kind of going. And I guess then if we're worried about corruption, providing details to the public, you're asking governments that do the same thing to be open and transparent in the future. It's a tricky position to be in.
Yeah. The thing is, Chris, with football, it's not like we're not talking about national leaders. We're not talking about Putin, you know, Joe Biden or Trump.
MI6 secrets.
Top secret stuff.
It's football on Saturday, where 11 play 11, and they might bring a couple of subs on, or they mightn't, and someone wins and whatever. And it should all be transparent. So if they're going down the dark route, the dark road of the cartels, then, mate, this is just the start, isn't it? It's going to get really, really messy.
Yeah, it's we like to call ourselves a people's club, but are we the People's League?
No.
Listen, boys, we could do another stream on that, and it's lovely to have Chris on. Lovely to see all of our normal friends there. We see the numbers going up of the people watching us. But are you on post-match with us as well today, Chris? Are you doing post-match?
I'll be around if you have me.
Okay,
he's going to go back for a little sleep for half an hour first, and then get up for the match.
Oh, you think I'm going to sleep before it? These are the kind of matches where you just feel cold with anticipation of the big crowd at an away stadium. Are any of our squad going to the match at the Etihad?
The two boys in
no,
London, no. I think we've got no representatives today at the Etihad, unless Mamsy's going, but he hasn't said, has he?
No, I don't think anyone's going. But Ryan said because he's working tonight, Ryan, but he says he's not working till later, so he said he might jump on the stream as well later on after the match. But it's so I just wanted to sort of mull that over with people out there with this Richard Masters not wanting to divulge the minutes from this Premier League meeting, and also basically denying a woman who's made a name in politics the right to hear them minutes, and also this this sanction policy that they was meant to have handed to the independent commission. Clearly not independent if they think that they can hand them a sanctioning policy. So anyway, on to today's game, Chris.
So I think the what I've been thinking about, and I think Peter Duggan brought it up as well, the right back situation is the only kind of moving variable for us, other than Onana and Doucouré being in and out recently. I think Godfrey handled himself well with his recovery pace and just his last ditch defending for a few, like at least one each match in the last two, these last ditch saves on his back post. But Doku's playing out today, and I guess the question is, yes, we have two right backs, but who would handle the pace of Doku? Because I was thinking all week, would it be Grealish? Would it be Doku? And if Grealish was out there, I think Patterson would have been really kind of exposed positionally, because Grealish has spent a whole year learning the Pep skill of moving out to the touchline, coming in and trying to stretch out defenses. I would be really worried about Patterson kind of following along and getting exposed. But with Doku, it's more about that, if he's on, that brilliant pace to take on a player and run past and break lines. So in a way, I think Patterson or Godfrey could maybe handle that, but I'm not sure who would be the best for it. Coleman has the positional sensibility and like experience that you would want in a match like this, but would he have the legs if he's coming back from another recurrent injury to take on Doku? Probably not for a full 90, maybe 60 minutes and sub him.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think the pace of Doku would seriously test Coleman, and I think Patterson as well. So I think having Godfrey there with his pace, but what he doesn't want to do is get tight to him, because he'll just knock it past him and run. Mm-hmm. But obviously, with you having Ashley Old there, he should be able to get back and provide them some support. What I don't want to happen is what happened in the Spurs game, is where Garner didn't track the runner, and that's where they got their first goal from. Do you know what I mean? So he's got to be on the ball, because as we know, City come at you from all different angles. Mm-hmm. They've got so many quality players in there; they'll just pass it around you. You just got to watch them runners running off you.
Yeah, we've been talking about or for anyone that's really into fantasy football, they've been like, okay, Alvarez has been the number 9 for a while. Now we have KDB coming back. We have Haaland coming back into the squad. How do they all play? And when you watch them against Brentford last week, it's basically a whole team of number 10s. And they all move around. They find that especially Foden was doing an excellent job finding the half space between their midfield and the back four. And I'm really worried if we're not paying attention to Foden, but a couple others can do the same thing. They just alternate who's making you uncomfortable in the half space. So we'll see.
You best introduce yourself to Becky Hillary.
Okay.
Becky Hillary. Chris.
Hello, Becky Hillary. My name's Chris. I live in Southeast Arizona. Followed this channel for, I think the first time I was listening, it was Jeff really annoyed at a 3-0 drubbing against Bournemouth away, the one where they threw the shirt they threw the shirt back at Coleman.
Oh,
was it Coleman or was it?
Iwobi.
No, Coleman got angry. It was Iwobi, right?
Iwobi.
And I just remember waiting to hear some coverage, and I was just so annoyed. And then I just heard Jeff going, "We're just so shit at football for like 40 minutes.
We're just not very good.
We're just not very good." And it really, it seemed to hit the spot. And that's what, after then I've been listening either back if it's a midweek match or trying to follow live, because we actually interact, and the chat from everyone is really good. So from all the listeners. So that's what brought me along, and I've enjoyed chatting with you guys on the calls. And yeah, hi Becky.
Yeah, we've we've had a bit of banter with Chris and had them on in the phone-ins and stuff like that, and he's he knows his stuff. He lives and breathes Everton like all of us, and we welcome him onto the stream with open arms, and hopefully there'll be many more.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the other thing which really, and I don't know how many other international listeners we typically have, but there's a few that have come on, but you guys live and breathe it in the area around Everton and just in Liverpool. But over here, I say, hey, I might be on a football channel. He's like, you mean the Super Bowl coverage? And I was like, oh no. Like, no one really gets it. Or if they do, it's like, oh, you don't support one of the big clubs, right? You don't support Liverpool, Arsenal, United. Oh, Everton deserve what they got. And they're like, you just don't get it. There's no vibrancy of that culture.
No.
So we're basically a small club, aren't we?
We are, according to
small club with big ambitions and a big fan base, right? The working class club.
Apparently, all Premier League teams are classed as equals now. Mr. Masters came out and rectified his comments. We're all classed as equals. Some more equal than others.
Yeah. Boys, today, are you prepared? Are you thinking, I mean, let's be honest, we know who we're playing. We know what we're capable of. But can we still do it on the big stage? We haven't kind of done it for a while, have we? Can we do it on the big stage?
It's certainly possible.
100%. You know what? On the anything can happen in football, Rob. You know that. Like when we absolutely mullered Man City one year, 4-0, wasn't it? 4-0, we beat them with Guardiola in charge.
That's when we thought Tom Davis was going to be a superstar, isn't he? Yeah,
unfortunately, he weren't. You know what I mean? But do you know what? They've got threats all over the pitch, haven't they? And it's like, how do you get to grips with it?
Mm-hmm.
We can sit here and talk.
That's what I'm saying, Wes. Are we going to turn them over today, or is it damage limitation? Are we still going to be happy doing a stream? I'm just being the devil here now. Are we happy doing a stream at 3 or 4-0 at half 2, 20-3?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we don't hide behind things on this stream. We if things need to be said, they need to be said. But I just hope that it's not 3 or 4-0 where they absolutely just destroy us and we're terrible. If we go there, have a good go, I don't think we'll get hammered. I think we all hope for a win, obviously, but I think we've always give City a good game. We have always give City a good game. So I don't think we're going to get absolutely smashed.
What's your thoughts, Chris?
I was mentioning last year we were kind of hoping for that New Year's Christmas miracle, and we got a flash in the pan piece of brilliance with Damari Gray. In terms of us getting smashed away, we had Villa do that to us, and the other one that really sticks out was when we got smashed by Arsenal the previous season away, I think it was. And there was, we had that feeling of, we're not in the same league as you. We already know that by half time. I don't feel that we'll have that today. I mean, you don't know. Man City are in that position where they we haven't lost this year. Let's remember that, which is nice. Oh, in terms of in the league, we don't think we've drawn. We haven't won, I don't think, but we haven't lost yet. Hold on for dear life for that. But we also know that Man City is starting to get all their players back, but there is that benefit for us of playing away. The Goodison expectation on the squad seems to relieve some pressure sometimes playing away, and maybe that'll impact Man City. That they don't, their fans probably don't feel like they have any excuses. They have everyone to play, and they're playing a team down the bottom in their mind, and their fans are going to expect a lot. We know we don't have incredible pace, but the way that Man City play, they're going to try and dominate the ball. We know we can try and counterattack. Beto is the one that has the most pace compared to Calvert-Lewin, but even against Spurs with Mickey van de Ven, they don't have a Van de Ven, but they have. Therefore, we can play those balls in the channels potentially. And what I think we're going to have to bank on is what we did against Spurs. I don't think Edison has the Vicario's nerves of going up for a corner and kind of botching all these crosses. But I think that's going to be the only real inroad for us, is going down channels, having McNeil look to dink it off a fullback and go for set pieces, because I think we're pretty comfortably a larger squad, right?
I think we're
Ruben and Haaland, otherwise we're bigger, and Tarkovsky wins back post headers. I think that's the way.
Yeah, I think ultimately, I think if we're going to get any goal, it's going to come from set pieces, corners, free kicks, and whatnot. But I said it last week, didn't I, Rob? That I just hope that we don't go there and try and park the bus, because City's too good for that. You know, we either try and catch them on the counter attack, which is also very hard again with Man City. But then they haven't got Kyle Walker playing today, so they haven't got as much pace in that team at the back as what they would have in, with Kyle Walker being there. So there is a sort of an area that we can target there with McNeil and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kyle Walker's not playing. He's had a bad night with the baby overnight, so he hasn't had much sleep.
Which one?
So
Babies.
That's why he's on the bench.
Yeah, but looking at when they bring in a Kanji and Stones for Walker and Gvardiol, maybe it's child issues, but honestly, I think Stones and a Kanji add a little bit more height to their back four, and maybe that's the solidarity that they know the only chance for Everton to really impact after they saw that we did it to Spurs would be the same thing. Hey, we need a Kanji's a bit bigger and pretty strong aerially. Maybe that's what they were focusing on, is, okay, DCL isn't fast enough to outpace Kyle Walker, but he doesn't have the ability to outpace a Kanji or Stones, really. So as long as their back four is fast enough to keep up with Harrison and DCL, because we didn't bring in Danjuma, I would say he would be the one to break the lines, right? Since he's not in there, they can be a little bit slower at the back, a bit taller, and maybe they can help Edison out, because he's great with his feet, not with his hands. So we'll see. But I think that's probably why they brought those guys in.
Here's a good one.
One chance, no chance.
Sean, we've got to believe, haven't we? It is damage limitation. If I'm being honest, I'm expecting, as my mum used to say, expect nothing and you'll never be disappointed. I'm expecting nothing today. We're all expecting to do the post-match and it be like a little bit better than a week. But you know what? We've got a chance, haven't we? We have got a chance. So
always
open. It is open.
Always got a chance. But the thing is, it's like we've got a run of games there now after today, which, ultimately there's a few winnable games in there, Chris. And do you want to read some of the games out that's coming up, Chris? And
let me pull up some of the next coming matches. We've got, we're away against City, and then we host Crystal Palace, and then away to Brighton. Maybe we can capture Lightning again with them. Then home to West Ham, away to United, and then we have the red shite. And then away to Bournemouth, away to Newcastle, and then it gets a little easier if Burnley haven't thrown in the towel by then. But that's the next run of fixtures. So I think, Crystal Palace are looking like they need some chemotherapy. They're just slowly kind of going down, lacking that energy. And unless Eze and Elise are playing, it just feels like that's the one team we've been able to handle.
Elise's injured. He's out for a couple of months by all accounts.
These guys are off and on as much, So I think that's going to be. We'll do what we can this week, but if I was to rest a player and if Onana's going to be excellent Onana instead of a passenger, we want him ready for next week.
So is it a question for you and for everybody out there? If we get to say 80 minutes and it's 0-0,
and we're winning,
and it's 0-0, right? Do you throw Onana on there for his extra height, even though he's only just come back, and then hopefully we get a set piece.
I mean, is it the Michael Keane 2.0, Wes? We were desperate against Wolves when they threw Keane up front, but Onana, at least positionally, plays.
Chris, you've had to mention the name. Chris, you've just depressed me. You just mentioned Michael Keane.
Well, he's on the bench.
He's always on the bench. He doesn't even get injured.
Wes, you just said 80 minutes 0-0. I mean, the last 10 minutes, you'd be biting all the nails on your fingers, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I know it's only early doors, but what score are you thinking today? What's your prediction for today?
Chris, you want to go first?
All right. I'm sure Duggan will give a worse prediction. I'm going for 3-0, but I'm preparing myself.
3-0.
3-0 for Everton.
Sure.
So everybody's saying he wouldn't throw Onana on at 0-0.
No.
Right, okay.
I think the best chance we have, we could get one goal and nick a 1-1 late. That's I think it's possible, but I can't see it. If the range, we're not winning 3-0, but they could win 5-0. So I think if I have the heart, let's have a hope for a Christmas miracle like last season of 1-1. But I think 3-0, unfortunately for me.
Wes?
I'm gonna go for 1-1. I'm gonna go for a draw. I mean, I'm open with all hope. You know what I mean? But I just we're decent away from home. That's the thing. That's what's like in the back of my brain is we are decent, and like Chris pointed out earlier that we're the pressure seems to be off away from home. Do you know what I mean? And they haven't got 30 odd thousand Evertonians screaming at them every time they make a mistake. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, boys.
Pressure's on then, isn't he?
Yeah, Peter Zuggan's got a 9-0 for Man City.
Peter said my heart says 1-0 for Everton, but in reality 9-0 for Man City.
Yeah,
nice one, Peter.
Peter's could be on after to give us his player ratings. So I'm not looking forward to that.
A -1 for everybody.
Yeah, I'm expecting a defeat, boys. I'm expecting a defeat today, and anything else is a bonus. Score-wise, it's so. I think we'll get beat 2-0, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-1, like you just said, Wes.
Yeah.
But realistically, I think they've got to be the favourites, haven't they? Like big time. But if that takes the pressure off us, and we put in a performance today, then yeah, it's possible. A 1-1 result's possible.
I think Ryan was saying in the chat here, expecting another penalty, and I could that would be so classic this year that they get a penalty for something that we've been screaming for. Basically, every time Beto gets manhandled, but somehow Haaland gets it because he's back, and the City crowd is so exuberated because they finally got broken the deadlock at 60 minutes, and all of a sudden it's 3-0 because the emotion's gone out. That's where my 3-0 comes in.
Oh, you're all by yourself there, mate.
Looks like it.
I think Ryan's doing a bit of messing about behind the scenes there.
Was I meant to be Tim Cahill, or am I Tim Cahill with my audio?
Oh, that's no good. That's no good.
Our glorious leader wants a professional setup, and here he is messing around with our professional live stream today. I mean, it's just unacceptable. I'm going to I'm putting a grievance in. It's like,
I know. Who'd you complain to? Who'd you complain to?
Oh, I know who to complain to.
PGMOL. Howard Webb.
Peter's saying now, says if they can hold their own for a while, he gives some good ratings. So expect 4s.
Looking forward to that, Peter. Looking forward
3s and 4s.
What I did a couple of weeks back, I actually did a rating at halftime and full time, because usually we're optimistic until that first goal comes in. Everyone's like, yeah, you're making a passing rating, and you're like, you've scored a goal, and all of a sudden everyone takes a nosedive, and your emotions take over the ratings a bit, either before or after.
And Mr. Toffees is saying there, get on the stream if you want to play around with it in the background.
Yeah, Ryan's a professional singer, so he's out tonight. I know where he is, so I'm going to turn the Alechi off. So let's see tonight. Hey, back, mate.
If we're looking for a player, and he's on, do we have a player on the bench today of Kyle Walker? Maybe he could join us. Yeah.
What we haven't touched on as well there, what Stuart's just said, Dyche is banned from the touchlines today, isn't he? Do you think that's going to affect him?
Ooh, I mean, if Man City crowd's quiet, you'll hear Dyche bellowing from the stands anyway.
Hey! Get the ball forward!
Yeah.
That was the worst Sean Dyche impression I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, we might be able to.
Steps out and son, then.
I'm not sure about our backroom staff, but we do have a pretty good Dyche impersonator in our mix, don't we?
Somewhere in the background, I think he's got off. I think he's actually got off. Oh no, there he is. He's still in there.
Does he want to come on?
There he is. I like Mr. Dyche.
Hello, boys.
I mean, to be fair, you sound a bit like Zippy off Rainbow there, but that's probably before your time. But is Mr. Dyche gone already?
He's shy.
He's trying to avoid all the noise, you see. Or is he on? Oh, is he on the new quote? Isn't he on the grass? Is that's his new go-to, isn't it? Everyone's on the grass. Or what's?
He's back. He's back.
Mr. Dyche. Hello.
Hello, boys. Sean here. I was hoping to be on the touchline today, but the bastards have got me at home, with a cup of tea, and I'll just watch it. We're going to lose 5-0 anyway. I couldn't give a fuck. So I'll stick the boxing on. I'll do a split screen. I've got my dodgy box ready, but up the fucking toffees.
Mr. Dyche, do we have a plan to bring on a player at 50 minutes today?
No, but I'll tell you what our plan is. I've got Calvert-Lewin. He's got no pace to beat anyone, but he's going to hold the ball up. Garner's going to join the attack and give it back to City.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dyche. I actually do have another question. We were worried about how DCL sleeps. What mattress did you get for him? Because he's been doing much better this season.
Hard floor only. No mattress here. Too much noise, turning and tossing on the beds. Hard floor, straight on the floor.
I can see how that would work, but I think that hard floor gives DCL no dream, spark, and imagination for scoring goals. But I appreciate him being in shape.
Hey. Oh, he's gone. In and out like a fart in a blizzard.
Yeah, I will.
Where'd you go from that?
Well, here he is. It's back.
Good evening, boys. Good morning, sorry.
Good
Morning.
afternoon, even.
Could be
Just-
anywhere. We have a multinational cast of people watching this show. Now, I want to say I'm slightly concerned about the team news today. I mean, what is the strategy to score a goal? We don't have any player capable of unlocking the Man City defence. We don't have anyone at the top end of the pitch with any blistering pace or skill to do anything. So are we just playing for a 0-0 draw?
First of all, right, I just want to know, how big is that cap?
It's too big.
It's camera angle. Actually, that thing's
Like,
giant.
You got like it looks like the peak's about 15 foot long, right?
Yes, why have you bought me this hat? It's embarrassing.
Oh, Wes,
Right.
that's the kind of hat you'd have in Australia if you don't get a sunburn.
Yeah. Secondly, in answer to your question, right, is who have we got in our team anyway to create anything? Do you know what I mean?
I am a bit worried about the form of Dwight McNeil and the form of Jack Harrison. I think the pair of them have not impressed me in recent weeks. I mean, they're full of running and endeavour, but you need a little bit extra in this division. We did the preview, me and David, and we listed the team, and you could have potentially put out a team of hard-working defenders and defensive midfielders, but it's nothing more than a glamorous championship team. You need a little sprinkle of quality at the top end of the pitch. Now, I possibly, Noddy, would have gone for Beto. I know he's a bit raw, but I think at least he's going to run in behind and cause a bit more of a threat 1v1 than Calvert-Lewin, who I think has always got his back to goal and can't run at a defender. So I'm also looking at the loss of Decore and thinking, where's the runners from deep? Garner are not going to do that. And your fullbacks, you haven't got a lot of quality going forward. I'm not saying we need that, but if our main route to goal, boys, today is a counter-attack or a set piece, how are we going to get up the pitch to actually get the set pieces and the fouls? And how are we going to get up the pitch on the counter-attacks? Because it doesn't look like a fast team.
No, this is the problem, though, Ryan. This is the squad he's got, but he ain't got much else to choose from. That's the issue. So it does seem like it's we're gonna be trying and getting set pieces and stuff like that. Fouls and maybe in their half and just lofting the ball into the box, and I don't know. It's just there's Everton haven't had a playmaker for years and years and years.
We have either too many or we have none.
We are too many or none. Simple as that. So we're restricted to playing the balls down the wings to two wingers who are not really that well informed. So
as I say, just referring back to tactics, how today we can cause City some problems. Well, I don't know if you've watched my preview, but I explained that City leave themselves with two defenders on the halfway line. And it's about how Everton can kind of isolate those two defenders on the counter-attack situations, possibly 2v2 or even 3v2 for Everton, and try and allow City to overload but overcommit players, push them into some areas of the pitch, maybe in the corners when they're not as strong, and then counter-attack against their two defenders. But when I look at who we've got up front, I don't think that Calvert-Lewin is really an adept counter-attacking player. And I think Harrison and McNeil, I mean, certainly against Spurs, they were outpaced and outfought. So I'm a little bit worried about how that could even happen. So for me, I think today the only real route, if I'm honest with you, is going to be from a corner or a set piece. We're going to have to try and play long. We're going to have to try and win some fouls and push our centre halves up when we've got these free kicks and try and cause some problems that way, because I don't really see the other route. Defensively, we've conceded the least goals of any team in the league this season from open play, which is a really positive sign, but also concerns me the fact that we do concede so many from set pieces. Now, Manchester City will relish the fact that Everton allow every team in the country to play whatever short corner routine they want, unchallenged and unopposed.
you know, City will love the fact that Everton will put everyone in the box, everyone on the goal line, and allow them to play these corners short and work opportunities to shoot. Now, if we do play a deep lower block today, City eventually will find a way to score. They'll get a penalty, they'll get on the end of something, but inevitably as well, the shots from outside the box are also a threat. If you look at recent games against Man City, Phil Foden scored from outside the box at Goodison. And it always seems to be that way, that eventually they find a way to score. I'm not quite sure what happened. I don't know if you guys can recall the 1-1 draw with Damari Gray scoring, how we managed to keep them out. But I think it was another 12:30 kickoff. And question to Robbie, they were very flat on the day. We need another flat Man City performance today, don't we?
We basically need them not to turn up. We've gone through the scores, mate. We're just living and hoping. Like, we're living and hoping on 3 points today. Like, we're living and hoping on getting our points back from that other Robin, Bastard. So it's one of them. We're just hope for the best. I mean, personally, I'm decorating, and I've written today off. I've just literally written it off. And anything else is a bonus. Chris has gone for 3-0 for City. Wes has gone for a 1-1. I've gone for 2-0 City if we're lucky. And if we're really, really lucky, we'll get a 1-1 if we're really, really lucky. And you know what? We could be lucky. It's one of them. With Everton, you don't know sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get. And you've mentioned McNeil and Harrison. If they're on it today, that'll make a big, big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the thing is as well is we kept getting done against City with them short corners, didn't we? Right, like there was like 2 or 3 on one every time they took a corner, and we like we never reacted to it, you know. But they kept doing it, but we never reacted to it. We kept just putting one there by the corner.
I get you. And what I don't understand on that is why Sean Dyche would not be tactically aware enough. Still got the Dyche voice. Not tactically aware enough to send some players out to meet the Man City players. So if they've got 2 over there, send 2. They're not going to chuck the ball in the box. They wouldn't do it even if we didn't play into the hands with the short corner team. They're always going to try and play. So why would we give ourselves some stupid handicap and leave them with an overload? I don't get that. For me, that's Chris. Do you want to come in on this?
Sure. Like every time we do short corners, and I know we've had that chat for a while. We've been prone to we want to have so many men in the box, and we can see it a mile away. We do a short corner, and all of a sudden the whole team has to move out of position to compensate, and now we're not in position trying to adjust our zonal marking and get exposed. So then maybe you bring in a Idrissa Gana Gueye or someone like a Godfrey who started to do better aerially up front, but struggles for his height with headers. Maybe someone like that who chases around and just puts a bunch of pressure on either Foden or whoever else is going to, or the Bernardo Silva, just sits there with straight out instead of, oh, imagine they brought an extra player. Let's move up. Let's break out of position again, and they'll find gaps. So agreed. I think we need to just anticipate that. Maybe with Dyche on the touchline, or not on the touchline, we have a little bit more degrees of freedom with his support staff making the decision.
How much of it, though, then, that he's not on the touchline today?
I'm sure they'll get told off after the match if they don't follow suit, no matter what they do. So,
do you know what? He's actually come out, hasn't he? And he's gone. I don't know what it is anymore. It was a penalty, and I got booked, and the other 2 bookings were also a load of crap. And for me personally, I think now's the time to come out and absolutely. He's a millionaire, and they put him in the stand, and they put him in the stand again and get fined. But I'd come out and ridicule the Premier League and for what they stand for. That's what I'd do if I was the manager.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually on. He got a blue card. He's in the sin bin.
Yeah, the sin bin. But the thing is, it's like someone commented earlier, the fact that he might get a better overview being in the stands than in the dugout, because ultimately he doesn't take the training sessions at Finch Farm. He has people to do that for him. He has tactical coaches and stuff like that plan the game way in advance. So the manager's just there really as a figurehead, isn't he? Given that his gravelly voice shouts, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference today. I'll be honest with you,
Dave. Can I direct that question to Robbie, and then we'll talk about the blue card thing before we wrap up. Robbie, just because you've got experience being right down on that touchline and you understand about how important managers are with the communication, do you think that will be a massive loss today to not have him down there on the
No, I genuinely, I've seen people get sent. I've seen how it works with people up in the stands sending the messages down and whatever. So it's just him. He wants to be there, doesn't he? They want to be there because it's like he's the figurehead and he's the front man for the team. So from a personal point of view, he'll be gutted, but that won't make no difference to the team now.
Peter Duggan's touched upon the blue card being an issue, and it seems to be quite unfavourable in the comments. Mr. Toffee's one of our VIP members has said it's not a blue card, it's an Everton card. And Peter, in his typical fashion, effing sin bins in football, what a load. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, but, I think when you start to introduce new ways this is nothing other than a way to protect the best and the biggest clubs. Let me explain. A blue card is likely to be got by someone like Everton today in a game like this, when a City player has got the beyond, for example, the midfield and is running at a 1v1 situation, or getting in a really dangerous area, and Everton take a tactical yellow. It's a very cynical yellow, and they're saying that could be a 15 minutes in the sin bin. All you're doing is further aiding the top clubs, the teams that are best at football, and you're taking away the ability for the lesser teams to have any sort of strings to their bow. Furthermore, time wasting, I get that, but this is part of football. This is the beauty of football. You're trying to make the game too woke, too modern. It's a man's sport and a women's sport and everyone's sport. We get that, but it isn't a sport where you can manipulate the rules in such a stupid way. And I really would be saying that it's completely wrong for them to introduce that sin bin. I think it would be to the detriment of the game, because you'll just see teams like Everton, for example, at Man City's day, where they need to do a bit of time wasting, and then they can't do it because they end up getting in the sin bin. So all you're seeing is 90 minutes of straight football for City. How many goals can you score? Oh, and if you do manage to beat us, don't worry, because we'll find another way to give you a penalty or a red card or something. It's corrupt. It's fucking corrupt.
I don't agree. I think, and I'm going against the grain here, but I think blue cards and sin bins would be a good thing. I think you'll have a player. You look at the Calvert-Lewin challenge where he got a red card. Now, red card's on his record now. So if he gets another red card, he's banned for 4 games. If the powers that be deem that bit to be a blue card, he would have been 10 minutes or whatever it is in the sin bin, and that red card is being wiped from his record. Do you know what I mean? So it has it's a double-edged sword where, if there's a challenge which is on the cusp of a red, or between the yellow and the red, then it's a blue. So he spends 10 minutes off the pitch. That gives your team or the opposing team an advantage for 10 minutes.
So Wes, maybe what they should be doing then, instead of the blue card, is, hey, that's a dangerous challenge. Let the game play on. That person is under VAR review because it was a bad challenge. It's basically a sin bin until VAR determines what it is. Maybe that's 5 minutes of the penalty of doing such a bad challenge that it's under review, and then you can come back on, and they make a better decision on the VAR.
By the way, then would a penalty sufficient not enough be 120 seconds, for example, off the pitch? I mean, even in that short period, that does give the opposition team an advantage. You think when Everton have a player injured and he's at the touchline, how wound up the crowd are to get him back on the pitch to even up the numbers. If you did 2 or 3 minutes, I think that would be reasonable. I don't think you can, even the time wasting situation, if you had a player time wasting for 45 seconds, you get a minute and 45 seconds off the pitch because you've been time wasting for 45 seconds. They could find a way of doing it where it isn't as harsh as sort of like a 15-minute punishment for taking. I think it would just go against us so many times.
The thing is now, in rugby, what they do, if a player gets sin bins, the yellow card then is reviewed by another person to deem whether it's a red card or not. Do you know what I mean? So, like I say, I think personally, I think it's a good thing for football, but I might be in the minority.
Would Chris like to wrap this stream up?
Sure.
Thank you.
Can I quickly add to Waz's point, and then we can wrap up? So what I worry about, and what makes this football, and I deal with 3 different groups or sports that call themselves football. They all try and add more complications, like NFL or the Australian rules football. They keep adding new rules on, and what makes this sport so fantastic is you can have 4 kids on the street grab a round ball and just play, and they want to replicate what the superstars do. We're starting to get so into the weeds to not just we're making the game too complicated. And I worry that a blue card also changes sort of like the history of, like, a yellow and red card are necessary a little bit, like, for a warning. But if we start to add this many rules, what are the chances that they're actually well executed at a professional level? And what would that mean just for everyone downstream of Premier League in England or around the world? And now we have to deal with blue cards and all that kind of mess. I think just keep it simple. Now, I agree that, yeah.
But the thing is, as well, though, right, is that if you get sin bins, right, for a challenge that's deemed between the yellow and the red, right, if it's 2 yellow cards, you play it. If you get a red card, your player's banned for a game, right? If you get a blue card, your player's off the pitch for 10 minutes, and you've still got them for the game after that, and you've still got them for the rest of that game. Yeah. If it's a red card, I mean, the problem you got to have, Chris and Robbie, is the fact that it's for the refs to define where's the threshold of a blue card and a red card. That's the difficulty they're going to have. So,
they can't even get the yellow and the red card right. So I'm really worried about the blue cards.
No, you're right. But I don't know. I just think that ultimately, I'd rather have a player banned off the pitch for 10 minutes than banned for the next game completely.
I think I'll need to read up on the blue card details. I just saw it and just felt ill before I even read the nuance of it before you guys went into it. So I might read up on that before our next call.
I'm trying to make it inclusive for Evertonians with it being blue.
Doesn't that mean blue means sick or depressed?
Well,
feeling blue?
Yeah.
But
in our case, yeah.
You've even got the new FFP rules coming in. They're talking about these new rules where it's a percentage of your turnover. It just further helps the clubs with the highest turnover, who inevitably are the ones who are already at the top, and pushes away anyone who wants to try and upset that apple cart. It's almost like a dictatorship, isn't it? It's how the organisation works. And I think it's only a matter of time before there's a mass revolt of the ordinary football fan against what's going on. The match is starting in about 5 minutes. So, Chris, have you found your first experience on a pre-match show with these two, Noddy and Lord Wes?
I've enjoyed it. I think we've been able to banter in a different way. I know when I've watched it for you guys together, it's all quite comforting almost. Like we know the Everton, like the blues or the fear of Everton, how they're going to do this week. Everything's okay if it doesn't work out, and it's been kind of fun to spitball with you guys on the tactics of that a little bit more in person. So I've really enjoyed it.
It's been good. Who's ending the stream?
I'll end the stream.
Go on then, Rob. Have a good day, Blues.
So,
and me and Robster and Chris will be
4
on it
minutes
after.
to go before kick-off. Will Everton secure 1 point or 3, or will it be a post-match reaction, which is going to be rather depressing? Let's hope that it's the first one and Everton will get something out of the game. So until about 20 to 3 for post-match, when you'll be with
me, you and Chris again.
The Robster, Chris and Dave Weston, better known as Wes.
Massive
We'll
cap,
see you
Ryan.
all soon. All the best.
See you, boys.
Up the Blues.
Good luck, everyone.